Okay, so we're on heat number 7 now of the third round. We've just got one more round to go after this of 10 races. This is the 7th of the third round, and in this race, well, it's going to be another interesting one. Heading the entries here is Greg Smith, another one of the AOA Racing team drivers. We've just seen Matthew Clark out there earlier on. Dwayne Stoddart is in it, Marius Nowitzki, Matt Barsh. He was 5th overall here a couple of years ago. We've got the world champion, Michael Schottler. Michael Schottler, the world champion, is in this race. So is Matthew Stark, the 15-year-old. Regis Goslan, Jamie Henderson, who you heard talking on the live stream yesterday on the TV coverage. He was helping with the commentary yesterday. Jamie Henderson went out and bagged an incredible third place then in one of the races. Lucas Neroda and Eliana De Vos. So this is going to be quite a tough race indeed. And they head out to start the qualifying. It's Lucas Neroda, brother of Patrick, who's leading the way there to begin the qualifying runs here. So we're going to see the world champion in action now as there's Matt Barsh crossing the line to start his qualifying run, and they're all just peeling out of the pit lane and onto the track. So the first one to actually set a time is going to be Lucas Neroda. He's been followed by the world champion Michael Schottler, the German. He took the title last summer over in the USA. The World Championship does move around the world. It's a week and a weekend of racing, and obviously being a World Championship, it does have to move around, being in various countries. It's in Portugal this year, and of course Michael Schottler will be defending that title at the championship, but now he's starting his championship celebration year, if you like, here in Britain with the BRKC. He's the second one in the lineup, and we'll see what happens when the times come in. So we're going to be starting that qualifying run now, and the times are coming in. Here we are. It's Neroda who sets the time, but what will Schottler do? Will Schottler go fastest? Yes, he does. Michael Schottler is topping the table there as the times are coming in. There's Greg Smith. Dwayne Stoddart. Can anyone challenge Michael Schottler, though? The world champion. Matt Barsh is second. Matthew Stark is third. Regis Goslan has moved to second, but so far it's still the world champion Michael Schottler in the lead. He's going to start from pole position, is he? Marius Nowitzki and Eliana De Vos is in 6th. So it is Michael Schottler who will start from pole position in this race. He's going to be followed by Regis Goslan and Matt Barsh, and Jamie Henderson is into 4th. Incredible run there by Jamie Henderson and Matt Stark, the 15-year-old, in 5th place. He's been followed by another youngster, Eliana De Vos. Eliana De Vos won the Polish Junior Championship last year. Marius Nowitzki there is in 7th place. Lucas Neroda is 8th. Dwayne Stoddart 9th, and Greg Smith is going to be bringing up the tail in 10th place there. So we're looking on the screen there. That's the 26 to the right of the picture there. That is Regis Goslan, the Belgian driver. Many years in karting at the very highest level of indoor and rental karting indeed. Regis Goslan spent the last 3 years actually on 2 wheels in motocross in Belgium. Very major sport in Belgium is motocross, and now he's moving back to 4 wheels. Going to be racing in the World Championship again this year is Regis Goslan, but it is the current world champion Michael Schottler that leads them round to take the start. Schottler keeping it really slow, really slow. Now he's starting to accelerate. He's building up the speed. He's taking them across the line, and the race is on. So Michael Schottler leads the way from the Belgian Regis Goslan, with Matt Barsh from Poland in 3rd place. And then Jamie Henderson holding down 4th place behind Barsh. Henderson's got Stark and De Vos after him, and here they come through the revised section. This will be the final time, because when we move into the round 4 set of 10 races, it's going to be on the original layout with the snail section. So here comes Michael Schottler. He's got a good lead on the opening lap, and there's Regis Goslan. There's Matt Barsh working on the back of Regis Goslan already, and a little bit of a gap to Jamie Henderson. Spanners, it's been a good start, and it's the world champion who leads the way.
Yeah, it's not a good start from everyone. I mean, Henderson was actually unlucky before the final hairpin on that start, got kind of into a little shoving match and ended up pulling a gap, and it's amazing how that little gap can suddenly change your race, because now he's defending and he's kind of already started to lose touch with the front 3.
Yeah, the one he's lost touch to is Matt Barsh, and that's not somebody you can really give time away to. Meantime, here comes the world champion, Michael Schottler, to put another lap into the books in the lead. Goslan, Barsh, and then Henderson with that gap that you were talking about, Spanners. Maybe Henderson can close in a little bit, because he started to pull away from the kart behind him in 5th. There's the world champion through the hairpins and out towards the backstretch. There's Michael Schottler. There's Regis Gosselin and Matt Barsh. So Schottler down the backstretch. There he is. And there's Gosselin, there's Barsh, there's Henderson that we were talking about, and then 5th place Matthew Stark. So another lap in the lead for the world champion, and it's looking pretty convincing as we speak. He's looking very strong out there.
Yeah, Schottler's, that is some scary pace actually, to pull away from those two. That is looking ominous as well. At the back there's a reasonable battle as well. Greg Smith, he's actually losing a little bit of touch with Stoddart there, who's keeping a pretty consistent pace.
Yeah, Lucas Neroda is 3rd from back. He's the one they're trying to chase down, but there's Dwayne Stoddart and Greg Smith. But now up at the front there, that's the 2nd place Regis Gosselin and the 3rd place Matt Barsh. An increasing lead by Michael Schottler, and Michael Schottler is not only in the lead, he's also fastest on the track on times. He's currently the fastest on track in this race. That's bad news for Regis Gosselin and Matt Barsh, who may well be forced into simply fighting over second. Jamie Henderson's actually closing in on the pair ahead though. Jamie Henderson is moving forward. He's not the quickest in the race, reference Schottler, but he is 2nd fastest in the race and he's closing in on the 2 ahead.
I think Barsh is the man in danger here. He's going to be looking at Schottler and going, ooh, I probably,
Barsh is
yeah,
in.
There we go. He's probably looking at Schottler thinking I can do better on my own, and he's absolutely gone for it, standing up out of the kart, and number 12, Nowicki, has followed him in. They've not affected each other, and Barsh is away. I think that's as good as he could have hoped for. A good stop as well for Nowicki, and I was looking at that gap from Barsh and Schottler increasing, and it did look like it was almost a no-brainer really for Barsh to give it a roll of the dice.
Yeah, maybe he's feeling that he is quicker than Regis Gosselin, but not really fast enough to make an overtaking move. Meantime, Schottler comes through in the lead, and there is Gosselin 2nd, and then it's Jamie Henderson who's running in 3rd. Jamie Henderson now, having been trying to close in on Barsh, is now trying to close in on Gosselin. A pit stop.
Yeah, we've got Neroda coming in 17 kart. He's not happy because he was slightly hesitant getting away. He could have gambled a little bit earlier. I think he's beating himself up over nothing, but he's out cleanly. That's the important thing.
Absolutely, and the shaking of the head seems to be the order of the day in the pits this weekend, doesn't it, Spanners?
Yeah.
Nearly everybody seems to be, in the pit lane, but they're all doing all right.
And that was over nothing. It was that he didn't quite get on the gas as early as he could have done.
Yeah, it felt like he was sat there for half an hour when he's in the kart though, right?
Yeah.
Now, Matt Barsh, this is interesting because Matt Barsh is closing in on the 2 at the back, which are Greg Smith and Dwayne Stoddart. Yes, there's been some pit stops. Yes, there are people behind them. But the real tail of the field is Stoddart and Smith, and they're being caught by Matt Barsh. Now, up ahead, there's Jamie Henderson that we're looking at. He's trying to close in on Regis Gosselin for 2nd place. Schottler is crossing the line now, then it's Gosselin, then it's Henderson that we're looking at on screen. There's Jamie Henderson. And there's Matt Barsh. Matt Barsh has got ahead of Greg Smith, and he's chasing Stoddart.
That was very polite from Smith. I think he looked behind him. He's seen that
Smith's coming in.
Yeah, he's seen that not only is one of the race leaders coming through, but he also knew in his head that he was going to pit, and he's been incredibly gracious to make sure he doesn't interfere with Barsh's race. But if I was Gosselin and I was looking at 2nd, I think I might have come in by now.
Well, yes, it would be doing the same thing as those around to try and maintain the status quo, really, wouldn't it?
Yes.
And that would be what would happen with Gosselin. Obviously, Matt Barsh is having to work his way through other karts. Now, what could help Greg Smith, who we saw in the pits, is if Stoddart loses time. But Stoddart's coming in now.
Yeah.
And those who follow more the tail end of the field will need to view this in terms of what's going to happen with Greg Smith.
I think Stoddart was smart there to come in. I don't know if he's got communications to the pits, but he was not going to have a better chance to hold his lead. He would have seen that Greg Smith lost loads and loads of time letting Barsh through, and that battle can resume now for 9th place.
Yeah, and Greg Smith has lost time really on Stoddart, to be fair. There's Matt Barsh we're back with, as he's going down the back stretch. He's on his own, and that's crucial in his battle with Regis Gosselin. Matt Barsh has made a pit stop, so now he's free to just set those lap times. Regis Gosselin, who he was battling with over 2nd, has not stopped. And Matt Barsh, the whole point of his pit stop is to create this gap with which he can actually drive faster than Gosselin and sort of leapfrog him when Gosselin comes in the pits. Matt Barsh, in terms of lap time, well, let's have a look.
He was slightly held up on that lap with behind Stoddart, but it was still a 33. Dead.
It was, but it does show up. Gosselin did get a 10th on him there. These little things do add up. It's minuscule though they see at the time. But here's Matt Barsh, a great view of the Polish driver there as they run through. There he is across the start line. There's Jamie Henderson, they're back to Matt Barsh. Now, Jamie Henderson, he will be worried about Matt Barsh's pace because Henderson's really got the bit between his teeth this weekend. He's running in third at the moment on track. There's Barsh again, and Barsh's times, well...
Same.
Yeah, there's this, he's still 33.0. There's Regis Coastline crossing the line, so we'll check what his lap is. 32.9. Yeah, it's not working out for Barsh at the moment. He does need to find some pace. It is working out for Jamie Henderson, though, because he's running very quick indeed, although a 33.1 on that last lap was not really what he's looking for. Schottler, meantime, the world champion, has set a new record for this race. He's the fastest on the track.
Oh, by some way as well. Yeah, he's got 32.7, so yeah, he's pulling away, making it look very comfortable, isn't he?
Yeah, the kind of time that no one can match down there at the moment. The German crossing the line now. He is the world champion, and this is why. There's Regis Coastline with the 26 on his helmet. Coastline, a very distinctive European style, head tilted in, shoulders leaning out to just break the grip of that the inside rear wheel of the kart, help the thing rotate in the corners. There's Coastline. It's a great view of the European lean out style. As you can see, unlike what you'd expect, Coastline is not leaning inwards, he's leaning outwards, and that's, as I say, very distinctive continental style. There's Regis Coastline, a great close-up view of the Belgian ace.
Grosjean looks like he's... Sorry, James, beg your pardon.
Go for it.
Grosjean just looks like he's pushing hard. He's a lot more busy in the car. The karts are moving, whereas Barsh looking a lot more static and planted. But at the moment, it is Grosjean that's making the gap, and I don't think it's looking good for the leap unless something happens up front, some backmarker intervention.
Yeah, Coastline, one of those drivers who really does visually work that kart, as we could see in that great close-up through the hairpins there. Coastline, you could see a very smooth, fluid style with an awful lot of body movement. More in the style of a motorcyclist, you could say. Not the same movements as a motorcyclist, but a lot of body work going on compared to what you would consider with a car driver who's literally just moving his head.
I don't know, motorbikes are witchcraft. Don't talk to me about those, James. They should fall down. They lean over.
While you're talking, we've got a great view on screen of what I was talking about with Regis Coastline. You could really see working one side, then the other, the body movements, the upper body movement in the kart, trying to help the kart rotate in the corner. Very smooth, very stylish action there by Regis Coastline.
So we've got Schottler coming through that back marker battle between Smith and Stoddard as well, so we'll see if he's held up at all. I don't think it's going to make any difference. I'm going to call it, James. He's quite good at go-karts.
Schottler, well, yes, he is. He's very good. He's good enough to become the world champion, even.
Yep.
So
that's very insightful of me.
The one he's being followed by, Regis Coastline, is the one we're seeing on screen at the moment. And Coastline really doesn't have an answer, with the best will in the world, doesn't have an answer to Schottler. He's got an answer to everyone else in this race except the leader, Schottler. So really, you'd have to say this is Schottler's race. Schottler's now got ahead of Dwayne Stoddart, but it is Coastline who's closing in on Greg Smith. Greg Smith waves him through. Now, looking at that, here's Eliana De Vos in the pit.
Yeah, that's De Vos coming in, concentrating like it was a maths quiz. That was a precision pit stop.
Yeah, a really good showing there by the Dutch youngster. Now, what's interesting though, we've been talking about Schottler being fantastic, we've been talking about Coastline probably having settled for second, but when you look at it, on track, when you're looking across the line and stuff, Coastline is very close. He's only 3 seconds behind the German world champion there. So actually looking out the window, looking at the track, if we get a bit of a view here, we're looking at Eliana De Vos there on track. He's in the mid-pack there, being chased by Marius Nowitzki.
So
Yeah, go for it, Brandon.
No, I just don't think Grosjean's settling for second. I don't think that's quite right. I think he's actually having to fight for it.
He's fighting, but in reality, I think he's fighting to keep ahead of Matt Barsh.
Yes, correct. That's what I'm saying.
They're out of sync with each other because of pit stops, but in Regis Coastline trying to do his best to stay away from Matt Barsh when he makes his pit stop, he's actually doing a great job of sticking with Schottler. He's keeping the gap at around 3 seconds.
Oh, we've got Stark coming into the pits. Aggressive snap of the brakes and skidding. Gets himself away. A little bob up and down in the seat to make himself feel better. That was a good stop.
Yeah, good stop there by Stark. He, again, is another one who is new to the idea of a pit stop in a race. So let's have a look. At the front, it's Michael Schottler, the world champion. The one we're looking at now, Regis Coastline, the Belgian, is the one in second place. That's Stoddart behind him, and Stoddart is running 9th. He's a lap down on Coastline, who's in front of him. And then it's Jamie Henderson. Matt Barsh, despite having made the pit stop, has come through to 4th place now, and he's the the highest placed of those who have made a pit stop. Spanners, we're only looking at the top 3 now to be making a stop. That's Schottler, Ghostland and Henderson, and they are running to 1, 2, 3, not because that's where they've ended up because of everyone coming in the pits, but that's where they were anyway.
Yeah, Henderson did well to hang on to that 4th place.
Henderson's been doing great, hasn't he? I mean, he's 7.9 seconds behind the world champion Schottler. Now we're looking at the German. This is Michael Schottler. This is the style of the reigning world champion. As you can see, he's not leaning quite so much as Regis Ghostland was in the corners, and a very, very cool, calm, collected, more in the Matt Barsh style, who we've got listed in 4th place at the moment. But there's Michael Schottler, the German, crossing the line again. He's got a 3-second, nearly 4-second lead now over Regis Ghostland. This is the style that makes you a world champion that we're looking at here. This is the reigning world champion, Michael Schottler, in the picture now.
I've attempted some maths, and I think Matty Barsh is going to fall short of trying to do his overtake in the pits. I think he's looking like around 12 seconds, certainly more than 10 to 2nd place.
Absolutely, Regis Ghostland has done what he needed to do. He's been keeping some very, very fast laps going. A big string of very fast laps by Regis Ghostland there in 2nd. Matt Barsh pitted out away from him, for those viewers who are new to this. He came in the pits to be able to get some clear space. He believed he was faster than Ghostland when he was running 3rd, so he went into the pits to create some space for himself to set those times and effectively leapfrog Regis Ghostland. But that's not how it's worked out. Regis Ghostland has been able to maintain a very high speed, and Ghostland, it does look like, has secured his 2nd place. Possibly not able to make inroads on the leader, but certainly it done enough to do the next best thing, which is 2nd.
If you want to look at the tactics of it, some tactical masterclasses here. Barsh wasn't being like actively held up. They weren't nose to tail, but he psychologically felt that if he went into the pit, he's in control then. He's made that positive move. But perhaps in reality, it's just let Grosjean off the hook a little bit. Not Grosjean, sorry. Because he's not had to go defensive. So what Barsh did, in effect, was free him up to go and set these lap times.
I think that's exactly what's happened, Spanners. Ghostland, without any kind of pressure, really. He's been seeing Schottler in front of him, but not in the challenging position, so he's not trying to fight him. He's seen Henderson behind him, but again, not in a challenging position, so hasn't had to defend him, and that has freed the Belgian, Regis Ghostland, to be able to lay down this string of incredible laps, which is exactly what he needs to do to stay ahead of Matt Barsh. We normally work on the basis of 10 seconds for a pit stop, and at the moment, Ghostland's got 12 in hand, so it does look very good for the Belgian in 2nd place. Matt Barsh, of course, we're feeling, well, that's kind of one that got away a little bit. The strategy didn't work out. But Henderson could be coming into this mix, and we'll see if he can actually maintain that 3rd place. At the moment, no, it doesn't look like he will, but a few more laps later, and we may see a change there.
Scruffy from Smith at the back there as he lets Barsh through. He was berating himself a lap ago as well, so I don't think he's very happy with his performance at the back.
Now, we're looking on screen at a very tight battle there for 5th place between Eliana de Vos in the predominantly black and grey, and Marius Nowitzki with the green on his overalls and the white helmet. And well, in the pits is the world champion. Yeah,
it's the race leader as well, taking a very serene pit stop. He has got a big comfortable buffer, so he didn't need to take any risks. It wasn't aggressive, it was cool and calm, back out in the lead.
Incredibly laid back looking, isn't he? Really no pressure at all for Michael Schottler. Regis Ghostland has taken the lead now. He's the one of 2 who are yet to stop, the other one being Jamie Henderson. So Regis Ghostland is leaving it very late to make a stop. They were looking on screen at Eliana de Vos and Marius Nowitzki, and they are possibly going to be joined by Matt Stark, because Matt Stark is closing in on this pair that's on screen now. So there's Eliana de Vos, and there is Marius Nowitzki with Stark in shot in blue and the white helmet behind. So Regis Ghostland is not taken to the pits yet. There's de Vos, there is Nowitzki, and there is Matt Stark. We've got close by Matt Stark. There he is working his way through. 15 years of age is Stark, and he's showing very well. 15? Yeah, very well. He's only 15 years old.
Oh, I hate it when young people are good at stuff.
Well, he's actually up against a bunch of other young people, because Eliana de Vos won the Polish Junior Champion. He's a Dutchman, but he won the Polish Junior Championship last year. So another youngster as well. So very junior battle going on here. And down the back straight they go. There, Eliana de Vos really being very defensive there. The inside line to block everyone out, as Brad Philpott called it, white lining. There's Matt Stark. He's caught up with that battle of de Vos and Nowitzki. and following them across the line there. He's now in contention with those and may, at this rate, be able to pass them both and get up to 5th place. De Vos, Nowitzki, Stark. And Stark, wow, it's all a question of whether Nowitzki is aware that Stark is pushing him along, and he's moving to the outside. Stark's gone to the outside. Can he make it work? Not quite, not quite. He's now gone to the inside. Really aggressive moves there. It's not really anything that's going to work, but at least he's trying. That's the best thing he can do, and it'll certainly rattle Nowitzki. Nowitzki is no doubt that he's there now. Nowitzki's the sandwich in this, is the meat in this particular sandwich. And Nowitzki looking over his shoulder at Stark. He's aware he's there. Stark's taking the regular line, and that gives him the options of trying to get some momentum to make the pass. Spanners, Henderson in.
Yeah, Henderson's come into the pits. He shook his head even before he made the decision to accelerate away. They are so on the limit with these pit stops, taking them very seriously.
Yeah, he's come out ahead of Greg Smith, and that's going to be interesting because I think generally when the front runs have been coming out of the pits, they've been coming out behind Greg Smith, as we've seen. So obviously Greg Smith may be losing a little bit of time there, but certainly Henderson coming out ahead is good. But here's Ghostland.
Yeah, it's pits. 2nd place man Grosjean's come in. Matty Barsh is coming round the final hairpin now. It's not going to be enough for Barsh.
No, there's Barsh coming into shot. We saw on screen. There's Ghostland, and there is Barsh. Now, Matt Barsh made the early pit stop from 3rd place. He was hoping to leapfrog Ghostland, Regis Ghostland there, but it clearly hasn't happened. A string of ballistically fast laps by the Belgian Regis Ghostland is what's kept him ahead of the Polish driver, who we're looking at now with the yellow. So on screen, there's Regis Ghostland, and there is Matt Barsh. So Ghostland leads Barsh as they come into the end part of the lap. There's Matt Barsh, much more sort of upright style than Ghostland, who really does move around in that kart. You can see him leaning outwards to break the grip of the inside rear wheel, allows him to rotate the corner.
So I suspect it might just have been a very slight miscalculation from Barsh in that early running. He's looked ahead at Schottler at the head and gone, that's my target, and he's getting away. Had he known in retrospect that it was a battle for 2nd place, he would have wanted to put the pressure on Grosjean instead, because he'd let Grosjean get ahead now and ended up in a net 3rd. But you have to admire that he was going for 1st in this race. That's what he was looking at.
Yes, it was his best option to try and leapfrog everybody, but that was discounting the level that Michael Schottler's working to this weekend. Michael Schottler is leading the way. There's just over a minute to go. We're looking at Regis Ghostland and Matt Barsh on screen. So this is the battle for 2nd place. Now, Matt Barsh, although he did lose out in his pit stop strategy, he's certainly come out in sight of Regis Ghostland, and he's trying to close that gap in. He won't have any back markers ahead. No, there's no one between them. There's Michael Schottler leading the way, and there's a 6-second clear space of air to Ghostland, who's 2nd, and then 3rd Barsh. Henderson has maintained 4th place though, Spanners. It's looking good for him.
Hang on, just posing with race organiser Phil Potts, but he's put his back
So
on.
we're looking on screen there at Regis Ghostland, and Regis Ghostland is, well, the gap's been brought down. It was about 2 seconds, it's now down to 1 second. Matt Barsh is creeping up on Regis Ghostland. Surely he's not going to have time. We think the checker flag is going to be out at the end of this lap, and the leader has taken the lap, and across the line to start the final lap there is Regis Ghostland, followed by Matt Barsh. Jamie Henderson's the next one we're looking at over the start line. He's crossed it now, so Schottler leads, and this is the battle for 2nd place. There's Jamie Henderson, just gone past the camera, and he's been followed by Dwayne Stoddart, who's running 9th from the lap down. That's Matt Barsh in 3rd place, chasing down Regis Ghostland. There's not going to be time, but here comes the world champion, and the world champion, and they've got another lap to go still.
Yeah,
they're on the last lap. There's the world champion, Michael Schottler, and then following him will be Regis Ghostland, Matt Barsh.
Yeah, Barsh must be thinking.
Henderson. Here's the world champion, Michael Schottler. He's leading the way. He's fastest on the track. He's got the best lap in this race. So Michael Schottler, the German, he won the World Championship. It was held in the USA last summer, and this man here, Michael Schottler, took the title, and he's trying to take the British Championship. He's going to take the win. Here's the checker flag, and Schottler wins. The world champion, Michael Schottler, wins. Regis Ghostland's going to come through any second, being chased down by Matt Barsh. And there is Ghostland, there is Barsh. Barsh closer than ever, but not enough to challenge Ghostland for 2nd. Jamie Henderson, surely he's going to be incredible 4th place. he's going to be the next one through. I'm expecting him through. There is Henderson. Henderson takes it. Estodart a lap down. And Eliana de Vos, Marius Nowitzki, there they are. And where is Matt Stark? He's lost a bit of time there, Matt Stark. He crossed the line. He was a little bit closer early on. There's Greg Smith taking 10th, and there's Lucas Naroda, who's actually in 8th place. Greg Smith a lap down, of course. So what an incredible race. Spanners, over to you in the pits.
Yeah, this is one of those examples where my karting friends who tell me that it doesn't always have to be wheel to wheel to be amazing racing. Sometimes the battle is against the lap times, and Barsh took himself out of that initial wheel-to-wheel battle, but still had a race-long fight with Groslin there, and Groslin just ended up on top. Very, very interesting to see what Matty Barsh decided to do early on in the race. Clearly seeing Schottler go away hurt him, and he immediately reacted to that, going for the win. I think in truth, though, Schottler had that from start to finish. There was nothing Barsh could do, and I think he was chasing shadows to some extent. But
Spanners, can I just give you some information?
Yes.
We might help you if you do get to speak to Schottler. This is Schottler's first win of this weekend. He's actually been second twice. He lost to one Gerber, then he lost to the other Gerb, and now he's taken the win without any Gerb in the same race.
You'll have to help me up from out there as well to make sure that Schottler doesn't get past me. There's a lot of black race suits, but there he is. There's the race winner and the world champion. You're going to come and chat to me? He's looking tired. At least it's good to know that he had to put some effort in to take that win. Michael, a fantastic win there. Well done. Congratulations. Your first win of the weekend, but you've kind of stamped your mark now. Everyone can see what you can really, really do.
Sorry?
Sorry, everyone can see what you can do there. The pace was frightening.
Yes, really. Yesterday was a hard day for me. 2 tough groups, maybe not the very strongest karts, and yes, today perfect start in the day. Maybe one of the best karts, and I'm feeling very, very strong.
Yeah, a race like that, you weren't really looking behind you at all. You were constantly looking forward. How are you finding the track conditions? Quite cold this morning.
It's for me too cold. But for my driving style, it's good, yes.
Let's see if the shine from this shiny medal for a heat win can keep you warm as well. Well done, Michael. A frightening performance there to tell everybody that the world champion is in business. I was hoping to catch up with Matty Barsh as well, but everybody's gotten away from me. So look forward to the next heat. Back up to you, James.